I just feel like I believe in my skills and my ability to adapt to any fighter. Just like he was able and successful in beating bigger guys, I look at myself as the same. I can go up and do the same.
He excited to be here. He pushed through, he make it look like that. That's what I'm saying. That's how a champion do. They say discipline. They say discipline is doing when you don't want to do it. Come on. Ultimate discipline, man. I don't even know what I should say. Should I jump on it? Should I get involved? Guys around me, they love to talk. God take it.
Terrence "Bud" Crawford has stunned the fight world by dropping super middleweight, revealing a lean, explosive transformation ahead of his clash with Canelo Alvarez. Fans and analysts are in shock as Crawford unveils a new level of speed and power. As the fight got closer, fans were surprised to see a big change in Crawford's appearance. It's his mindset and hard work that stand out. Even after years as a champion, Crawford trains with the same energy and hunger, showing the true meaning of dedication and what it takes to stay on top.
Difference is already in a, that's how you're supposed to start. See how Crawford started? Look at the bounce in his legs. 10 years running as a champion, everything that he's accomplished, and he still act like this is his first day in the gym. He excited to be here. He pushed through, he make it look like that. That's what I'm saying. That's how a champion do. They say discipline. They say discipline is doing when you don't want to do it. Come on. Ultimate discipline, man. I don't even know what I should say. Should I jump on it? Should I get involved? Guys around me, they love to talk. God take it all.
Meanwhile, as talk of Crawford's weight transformation spreads, the champ isn't just working on his body, he's sharpening his mind too. In a recent training session, Crawford took time to break down the exact technique he believes can neutralize Canelo's deadly left hook, giving fans a rare inside look.
There you go. No, I'm saying boom. So then when you extend it, boom, this is protecting you. This is right here. You know what I mean? Because look, if I throw a hook, no, I'm saying, if I'm here, boom, and you throw a hook, I'm just gonna turn. I'm just gonna turn on my shoulder. Wait too much.
Furthermore, Terrence Crawford prepares to make the huge move down to super middleweight. Expert Showbiz the Adult breaks down just how rare and difficult this kind of jump is. He challenges fans to understand that very few fighters in boxing history have attempted or even come close to starting at lightweight and competing for undisputed titles at super middleweight.
I'm going to break it down by asking you a question. Tell me a fighter who has started their career at lightweight and fought a fight at super middleweight. Sam Langford. That was over 100 years ago. He fought Joe Gans. He fought the fireman Jim Flynn at heavyweight. Hell, he fought Jack Johnson. Sam Langford is ridiculous.
But Showbiz doesn't stop there. He digs even deeper and how historic this move truly is. He explains that no fighter in modern history has started at lightweight and gone on to fight for undisputed at super middleweight, making Crawford's upcoming clash an almost impossible feat.
Now, let's make it even more unlikely. Name a fighter who started at lightweight to fight for undisputed at super middleweight. Let's go further. Name a fighter that started at lightweight to fight for undisputed at super middleweight against one of the greatest fighters of all time, who is 3 years younger than him. What Bud Crawford is attempting to do on September 13th has never been done before. And let me go further. It has very rarely been attempted. If Bud Crawford beats Canelo September 13th, Mount Rushmore, best boxing.
Moving on, as more people question if Crawford can beat a bigger and stronger Canelo, he stays calm and focused. He doesn't let the doubts get to him. Crawford believes in his skills and his ability to adjust to any opponent. Just like Canelo has beaten bigger fighters before, Crawford is ready to show the world he can do the same and prove everyone wrong.
I just feel like I believe in my skills and my ability to adapt to any fighter. Just like he was able and successful in beating bigger guys, I look at myself as the same. I can go up and do the same. A lot of people, they write me off. They say, oh, well, there's never been a smaller guy beat a bigger guy that was both great in a weight class.
Yeah, the big guy, the big guy, the skilled guy, always beat the smaller skilled guy.
So I'm just ready to prove everybody wrong.
Before the idea of facing Canelo even crossed his mind, Crawford was fully focused on his clash with Errol Spence Jr. But as time passed, doubts began to surface about whether Spence's team truly wanted the fight. It was in this moment that Bill Haney planted the first seed of an even bigger opportunity.
Is that true?
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, we really wasn't thinking about Canelo. Bill Haney was just like, man, forget Spence, because he knew Spence team. I wouldn't say Spence because he's the one that made the fight happen. Me and Spence. They really didn't want the fight to happen. You know, I think they was trying to age me out, and as they see that it wasn't going in the right direction for them, they really just didn't want the fight for Spence.
You mean Team Spence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
with growing frustration over delays and doubts surrounding the Spence fight, Crawford began to see things differently. It was Bill Haney who suggested a new path, one that could take Crawford to even greater heights. Haney urged him to think bigger, to chase the Canelo fight, calling it Crawford's version of a legendary Pacquiao moment.
Bill was just like, you know, man, you need to just go out to Canelo. That's your Pacquiao fight. You need to go out to Canelo. He's not, you know what I mean, crazy bigger than you. You know what I mean? You can match up with him. You strong. You know how to box. I was just like, man, you're right. And then when there was talks about Spence beating me and him getting the Canelo fight, I'm like, hold up. You know what I mean? Like, Spence ain't gonna beat me, so I don't understand why they already premature, already like kind of walking him into his next.
Even though everyone debates whether Crawford's speed and skill can overcome Canelo's size and power, the Mexican superstar stays calm and focused. Reflecting on his own experience moving through weight classes, Canelo shares how mindset, preparation, and ring IQ will be the keys to handling whatever Crawford brings on fight night.
Everybody's talking about the weight.
Yeah, sometimes I've been in that situation before, not moving up and everything. And when you are a great fighter, sometimes it's not about the weight. It's about how you think, how you do the fight and everything. And I've been in that situation before, so I'm gonna put my best in the training camp and not be overconfident.
Yeah.
And we know Terence Crawford is a great fighter, and you know, but I'm gonna take my advantage, everything. Yeah. I'm gonna take all my advantage and my experience, my boxing IQ, and put my best.
Amid all the talk about Crawford, the conversation took a fun turn when Carl Froch playfully asked Canelo how a dream matchup between the two of them, both in their primes, would play out at super middleweight. Canelo, smiling, gave a humble yet respectful response, keeping it light while showing his trademark class.
I don't know. We need to see.
No, we don't need to see. What do you think?
Wait, we will. No, I think could be a good fight. Yeah.
12 rounds.
Yeah, 12
points.
Rounds, yeah.
Split decision.
Maybe. Yeah. We don't know.
We're
never gonna know, but
we'll never know.
We can say it will be a good fight.
What do you make of?
Meanwhile, as the excitement builds for this historic clash, boxing legend Shannon Briggs shares his thoughts on the upcoming fight. Having known Crawford since childhood, Briggs speaks not only as a fan, but as someone who has witnessed Bud's journey firsthand. With pride and confidence, he delivers his bold prediction for how the fight will end.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great fight. I got Crawford by stoppage, and I've known him since he was a little kid, 12 years old. So to see him now fighting for a title in such a big fight, it's a great experience, great to see.
Last question.
Briggs doesn't stop there. He dives deeper into how he sees the fight playing out, highlighting Crawford's ability to switch styles and confuse his opponents. Reflecting on Canelo's past struggles against slick boxers, Briggs believes that in the later rounds, Crawford's versatility and sharpness could give him the edge to take over.
By Crawford style.
He gonna box him. He can fight both ways. He gonna trick him up. One thing Canelo showed is that he could be outboxed. But I think this time in the late rounds, I think Crawford gonna have something for him.
Furthermore, as fans and experts wonder how Crawford can handle the size, power, and experience of Canelo Alvarez, veteran trainer Joel Diaz shares valuable insight. With his background in Mexican boxing and years of experience, Diaz explains that defeating Canelo isn't just about physical strength, it's about controlling the mental game. He believes frustrating Canelo is the key to breaking him down and securing the victory.
For him, I know Canelo. I'm Mexican. I was in my career, growing up as a Mexican fighter, I know the goods and bads of a Mexican fighter, and I know Canelo, and I knew Canelo's weaknesses and how you can frustrate him. You frustrate Canelo, you beat him. You frustrate him first.
Adding on with the Canelo versus Crawford fight approaching, many experts are sharing their predictions. Among them, Nico Ali stands out, offering high praise for Crawford's talent and legacy. He highlights how Bud and his team have impressed the boxing world, reminding fans that Crawford is not just a great fighter, but one who will be remembered as a legend for years to come.
I'm Team Bud. I'm Team Bud all the way. You know that
you have to be after he gave you them bits of advice.
No, but Bud is amazing. He's just, him and his whole team are just dope. But Bud's an amazing guy. But forget all that. He's talented in the ring. He's you know, people only talk about greats when they leave the sport, but he's one of the greats that will be talked about for years to come, and he's still fighting. So we gotta, you know, appreciate the fights that we're watching now with him.
Right, let's leave it on this. Have you got any...
Meanwhile, anticipation builds for Crawford's showdown, and Showbiz the Adult reflects on how long he has believed in Bud's greatness. Over a year ago, he predicted Crawford's rise among the top fighters ever, and now he's openly declaring Bud's ambition to join boxing's Mount Rushmore is no exaggeration.
Terrence Bud Crawford, I said over a year ago, if Terrence Crawford wins, that's top 5 best fighters ever. Now he's saying Mount Rushmore, so that's 4. He said, put me on a Mount Rushmore. And I'm going to say facts. If he beats Saul Canelo Alvarez September 13th, I think he definitely goes on a Mount Rushmore of best boxers ever. Not greatest. Because
Showbiz explains that being on the Mount Rushmore isn't about being the greatest overall, but about being one of the best pound-for-pound fighters who can take on anyone. He argues that if Crawford beats Canelo, he'll earn his place alongside boxing legends for his incredible skill.
Fighters who've done greater things. But best, let me explain. When I say best, I mean a fighter who I feel has a chance to beat anyone pound for pound. If he were to do that, September 13th, I would give Terrence Crawford a chance versus anyone pound for pound. Let me tell you who would be on the Mount Rushmore of best fighters, in my opinion. Sugar Ray Robinson, Henry Armstrong, Sam Langford, and Terrence Bud Crawford.
Furthermore, respected trainer Robert Garcia shares a surprising take that many didn't expect. While most doubt Crawford because of the size difference, Garcia sees something others overlook, a rare combination of skill, speed, and footwork that could make this fight far more competitive than people think.
Well, without counting obviously fights that I'm involved, I would probably say Crawford versus Canelo, because it's a fight that that most of the people don't give Crawford a chance because of the size. But he's got skills, man. He's got skills. He's got good speed, good footwork. That's why I do give him a chance.
You do give Crawford.
I do give Crawford a chance, of course. You know, Canelo's last few fights, you know, he does his work. He gets work done, but never does that lift.
Garcia doesn't stop there. He breaks down exactly where Canelo's recent performances could open the door for an upset. Pointing to Canelo's flat-footed style and lack of urgency in recent fights, Garcia explains why Crawford's speed and aggression could tilt the balance if Bud brings his absolute best to the ring.
A little extra to please, or to he knows he doesn't need to anymore, so he's just comfortable enough with just securing the win. He became a businessman. And I think that could be something in favor of Crawford, that if he comes out in his best and good footwork, you know, Canelo is flat-footed. He you know, his last fight, especially against the runner, he was throwing one punch at a time. Didn't even try to be aggressive and get him into the ropes, throw combinations of 4 or 5 punches. He never even tried that. So I think at this stage, I am giving.
Meanwhile, as excitement builds around the blockbuster clash, former middleweight champion Daniel Jacobs steps in with a thoughtful prediction. Having known Crawford for over 15 years, both in the amateurs and pros, Jacobs has witnessed his growth firsthand. With deep respect for both fighters, he breaks down why he sees this as a true 50-50 battle, while still leaning slightly towards Crawford to pull off the upset.
How'd you see the fight go?
Well, I didn't have time in sparring, but I had at least over
15 years of knowing him, amateur, professional. I've seen where he started. I've seen how he's gotten better over time, but I also just know what resides in him. He's a dog, he's a beast, and he's out to prove something too. So I'm excited about this fight. Canelo obviously is self-explanatory. There's really no need to go down the rabbit hole when it comes to him. But I do see this being as a 50-50 fight. But if I was a betting man, I would bet on Crawford. But also too, you can't count Canelo out. I mean, would go in, I'm assuming, as the favorite, which is rightfully so.
Moving on, as Crawford's reputation rises, Coach Bernie Davis fires back at those who downplay Bud's impact. Many dismiss comparisons to Mayweather, but Bernie insists this is Crawford's time to shine. He argues that despite differences, Crawford's era is defined by unmatched skill and ring IQ, setting him apart as a dominant force in boxing's current landscape.
The Crawford era, and they keep talking about, this ain't got nothing to do with Mayweather. I seen the boxing videos, they piss me off, because they so goofy as fuck. That's why I'm saying we need more substance in this shit. Talking about, he don't view this as Mayweather, his get back to Mayweather. They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Because y'all keep saying that Bud and Mayweather ain't nothing alike. Y'all keep talking about how athletic he is and how this and how that and keep how they ain't the same. So what the fuck? This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Now you can say that that's what they were saying with
Bernie continues, explaining that the comparison to Mayweather isn't about style, but intelligence inside the ring. Crawford's ability to adapt and outthink any opponent makes him one of the best pound-for-pound fighters alive. This mental edge, combined with elite skills, is why Bernie believes Crawford can defeat anyone, and why he's earning respect alongside boxing's all-time greats.
Because they got more of a similar style. You can see more than, not Crawford and Mayweather. Only, you know, the thing they see in Crawford is that IQ, that a way to adjust. Them skills that's pound for pound, no matter who they go up against. You understand? The shit that, man, you understand? That's why they compare him to Floyd. Because he's the master adjuster. Because the skill set is second to none. That's why he pound for pound. It don't matter who you put in there. He beats him down. You ain't whooping no.
Furthermore, few people can offer a more unique perspective on Canelo versus Crawford than Tyrone Davis, who has sparred with both champions. Sharing his honest insights, Davis breaks down the differences he felt when facing each man and highlights the key factors that could shape the outcome of this historic showdown.
Have you been in there with Crawford?
Yeah.
So you've been in there with Crawford. You've been in there with Canelo. What can you take from sparring both of them to gauge what's gonna happen in September?
Preparation is gonna definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely gonna help him. Canelo experience.
Davis continues by highlighting the role experience will play on both sides. While he praises Crawford's incredible skill set and adaptability, he also points out the reality of size. Canelo's comfort at super middleweight, Davis explains, could give him the edge, but if anyone is capable of pulling off the impossible, it's Terrence Crawford.
Crawford got great experience as well. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because of the weight disparity. Canelo is naturally sits really well at 168, and it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, if anybody could do it, it'll be Terrence Crawford.
As the countdown to this once-in-a-generation clash continues, one thing is clear: Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez is more than just a fight. It's a battle for legacy, for history, and for the right to be remembered among the sport's immortals. Whether it's Crawford's daring leap in weight, his explosive new transformation, or Canelo's calm confidence sharpened by years at the top, the boxing world is witnessing something extraordinary. No matter who you're backing, September 13th promises to deliver fireworks. 2 champions, 2 styles, 1 unforgettable night. Who do you think walks away victorious? Crawford's speed and skill, or Canelo's size and experience? Drop your predictions in the comments below.